Rides such as the roller coaster in the theme parks test your courage. Statistically, you're very safe, with only a 1 in 24 million chance of getting injured and a 1 in 750 million chance of dying.
I didn't think about how much it would shift until that first car came across. I'm not an engineer, but that's not normal.
But you're not thinking about those numbers when you're speeding along the tracks, flipping upside down, and going through loops. Not all roller coasters are the same. Some are gentler and more predictable, perfect for beginners. Others, however, are wild and unpredictable, designed to scare even the biggest roller coaster fans. Check out the 15 craziest roller coasters in the world and see if you're brave enough to ride them. Number 15. Skating coaster. High speeds don't intimidate this daredevil, even when just a pair of 3-inch wheels hold him up. He already holds the record for the fastest inline skating, having been towed behind a Porsche that moved at 190 miles per hour. So, the relatively modest 56 miles per hour he hit while skating down a roller coaster in Stuttgart was no big deal for him. Meet Dirk Auer, who spent 2 months planning this jaw-dropping stunt. He designed and crafted special skates specifically for this event. But here's a detail you might not know: the roller coaster he skated on was wooden. Unlike iron or steel coasters, there was always the risk of encountering a raised nail or screw, which could have caused severe problems. Still, Dirk, the world's most extreme inline skater, faced the challenge head-on. Using his specially designed skates and a crossbar that kept him attached to the rails, he tackled the mammoth roller coaster at Tripsdrill theme park in Germany. He covered 2,800 feet of track in just over a minute, taking inline skating to a new extreme. Number 14. Takabisha Fujikyu, Highland, Japan. Merely watching the complex structure of the Takabisha roller coaster gives a chill or rather creepy feeling to anyone who is watching it. Takabisha has been scaring its passengers since operating for the general public in 2011. Of course, it doesn't mean you know what will happen. You can never prepare yourself. The ride begins with a rapid drop into total darkness, just to set the ominous mood. Moments later, you're launched at over 60 miles per hour into the light, racing through a series of pulse-pounding coaster loops, including a banana roll, corkscrews, and several 180-degree turns that come one after another. You're then briefly taken back to the station, only to immediately zoom 180 degrees toward a 141-foot-tall chain lift hill. Once you reach the top, you face Takabisha's trademark feature, a terrifying 121-degree drop, still holding the world record for the steepest roller coaster descent. You're taken through 3 more intense loops from there before finally returning to the station. Amazingly, despite its thrills, Takabisha has not yet caused a single injury. Hopefully, it stays that way. Nevertheless, the sheer experience of plunging into darkness, going through 7 loops, and tackling the steepest drop known to coaster enthusiasts might leave you wanting to spend some time on a calmer ride, like the merry-go-round, to settle your nerves. Number 13. Gravity Max, Lipao Land Discovery World in Taiwan. For the most part, the Gravity Max roller coaster is pretty straightforward. After a drop, there's a moment of darkness, a single loop, and some rolling track before you return to the station. But what happens before the drop is one of the most terrifying, craziest features of any coaster on the planet. The track seems to break, and you might faint if you're not expecting it. After climbing 114 feet, your car suddenly stops, and you realize there's no more track ahead of you. It feels like you're stuck until the track tilts downwards slowly. It feels like the coaster is malfunctioning, and you're about to pay for it with your life. But as panic sets in, the track reconnects, sending you plummeting at a 90-degree angle. For those unfamiliar with geometry, a 90-degree drop sends you straight down, a feat so terrifying that no other coaster has dared to put riders through it. Gravity Max went down into history as one of the most daring rides to ever goad its riders into accepting the feeling of danger as never before. On the other hand, the Fury 325 roller coaster might be just as aptly titled as it is frightening. Known to be one of the most bizarre coasters currently in the world, Fury 325 plays tricks on you physically and mentally. The coaster's aesthetic is inspired by the hornet, one of the most aggressive insects on Earth. The 325 comes from the coaster reaching a towering height of 325 feet, making it one of the tallest in the world. But the designers don't just play psychological games with the intimidating name, they start playing with your mind when you enter the park. Part of Fury 325 zips past and around Carol Windsor's front gate, making you feel its presence the second you walk in, building anticipation long before you even step in line. Once you finally board Fury 325, it delivers on every ounce of dread it promises. After reaching its frightening 325-foot peak, the ride drops you at an 81-degree angle, hitting speeds of about 95 miles per hour. While there are no loops, plenty of rolls and corkscrews keep you spinning, and the speed is relentless. Adding to the thrill is a beam that appears just barely to miss your head. While there's no real danger unless you're 8 feet tall, the beam's positioning and the coaster's breakneck speed give your brain nothing but sheer terror to process. And don't forget, at some point during the ride, Fury 325 will zip past the front gate in full view of everyone entering the park. This adds to the suspense for the next set of riders who watch in horror as you're sent hurtling past them. It's a thrilling circle of life, or more accurately, a circle of screaming for your life. Number 12, nothing but net. Don't think about getting in line for this ride if you're afraid of heights. For everyone else, get ready for an adrenaline rush. Ever wanted to try bungee jumping but were too scared? The Nothing But Net free fall ride at Zero Gravity Park in Dallas, Texas offers a similar thrill without the fear of ropes or equipment. This ride lets you fall from 16 stories high, 130 feet with no parachute or attachments, landing safely in a net below. The Nothing But Net freefall is a one-of-a-kind experience, as it's the only system in the world that allows an entirely free, unattached fall into a specially designed safety net. The name isn't an exaggeration, there's nothing but a net to catch you. In some ways, it's even scarier than bungee jumping since you're not connected to a rope. A staff member activates the release system, starting your free fall. Because the fall is without attachments, guests drop straight into the suspended catch-all device, where air tubes and brake suspensions around the double-layered net gently stop the fall. There's no impact felt at all, making the experience both intense and smooth. Once you've landed, the device is lowered closer to the ground, allowing you to exit independently. Number 11, The Big Shot. The Big Shot was at one point the world's highest amusement ride in height above the ground, though this does not diminish the fun of the ride to date. It is a pneumatically operated aerial tramway, and this tower is situated at the Strat Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, with a height of 921 feet. The tower is standing at 160 feet, but the ride will propel you to the height of 45 miles per hour, producing 4 G-force acceleration. I do not think this is for the squeamish. The Stratosphere building in Las Vegas is a famous landmark and a piece of engineering work. This steel structure is 1,149 feet tall and is the tallest freestanding observation tower in the United States. It is also a building located west of the Mississippi River. Rising on top of this enormous building, you'll get the Big Shot ride, which is breathtaking. The ride accommodates 16 passengers at a time. Once secured, the riders are launched 160 feet into the air. After reaching the highest level of joy, there is a moment of weightlessness before the bungee drops back to the home ground. The Big Shot was initiated in a VIP black tie event in the fall of 1996, one day before the opening of the ride and the casino. However, the first guests of the Strat are way more interested in this anti-gravity ride than the new casino. Today, the Big Shot remains one of the most thrilling attractions in Las Vegas, and it still operates. Number 10, King Dakar, Six Flags, Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Even though Formula Rossa won the title of the world's fastest roller coaster from King Dakar, Six Flags has a thrilling and scary ride. King Dakar is for people who like getting to dizzying heights before coming down at electrifying speed. Since its first operation in 2005, King Dakar has remained the tallest roller coaster worldwide, estimated at 456 feet. Upon reaching the top, it takes you sliding 418 feet with a free fall that is a 90-degree angle almost. If that is what it feels like, this coaster could go up to 128 miles per hour in just over 3 seconds. It's not the longest rolling coaster in the world, but its height and top speed will make you feel exhilarated. Despite the brutal intensity of what sci-fi refers to as the world's most dangerous ride, it is a relatively short one. You are on King Dakar from when it is launched to when it is done in 28 seconds, but those are hair-raising 28 seconds. You never witness the powerful launch, the dizzying 270-degree turn, a record-breaking altitude, and the second vertical ascent of 129 feet that gives you a feeling of weightlessness. Then the brakes hit and the ride is over. Even though it's a quick experience, anyone who rides King Dakar will walk away far from disappointed. The sheer speed, height, and power of this coaster are unforgettable. Number 9, Montu, Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, Florida. The Montu ride at Tampa Bay's Busch Gardens is a perfect example of what makes a roller coaster truly terrifying: the complete loss of control. As a rider, you're tightly strapped into a car, speeding over 60 miles per hour, twisting, turning, and dropping non-stop. Few rides take that feeling of control away as effectively as Montu. From the start, the ride feels extra intimidating since the track is above your car rather than below it, allowing your feet to dangle as you zip along, heightening the sensation of danger before you even take off. Once you experience the initial drop, you're thrown into a loop that leads into a dark tunnel, followed by corkscrews, an inverted corkscrew, and numerous sharp turns. Montu's design keeps you in suspense, never letting you know what's coming next. The ride aims to leave you on edge, and it does so with 5 sharp turns that drop you into trenches. At these moments, you're flying only a few inches from the ground, which gives you a feeling that you're about to crash, but it's way funnier. Each time Montu sends you tumbling back into the heavens, you may shout, although some of you know it is all part of the roller coaster ride. If, even for a second, you thought you were about to meet disaster, Montu has succeeded in its mission. Number 8. Edgewalk. CN Tower in Toronto, Ontario, Canada is one of the 7 New World Wonders. When its antenna height is comprised, it becomes the tallest single structure in the entire Western Hemisphere. If you want to go further than the birds, prepare for a ride to the top of this structure, but once you've got there, can you step onto the edge? The first of its kind in North America is the Edge Walk at the CN Tower, where visitors are invited to walk around the perimeter of one of Canada's most visited landmarks, 365 days in a year, while hanging 1,168 feet above the ground. Further, in 2011, the Edge Walk got a Guinness World Record for being the tallest external walk on a building. So how does it work? Your seat is fastened and belted, and your backs are to the structure, with safety harnesses around your waist to keep you airborne. You look over Toronto and towards the horizon over Lake Ontario. Thanks to the absolute highest levels of international safety and security protocols, an experience that may be terror-inducing will be 100% secure. Cameras are not permitted on the walk, but every edgewalker has their adventure captured on camera for friends and loved ones. And now, if you follow the sounds of happiness and laughter, you are most likely to end up in California, at Six Flags Magic Mountain to be precise, where the X2 roller coaster operates. This ride is in a league of its own, recognized as the very first 4D coaster. What makes it unique? The train seats pitch 360 degrees forward and backwards, creating a sensation akin to floating in space. Unlike traditional roller coasters, the X2 features extra-wide rotating seats that twist and flip independently of the main train as it navigates the tracks, running on 4 rails instead of the standard 2. As you spiral through the air, head first and face down, the X2 accelerates to speeds of 75 miles per hour while climbing to an elevation of 196 feet. Your feet dangle weightlessly in the air, adding to the thrill. With corkscrew-like maneuvers, 2 ultra-rare half loops that lead into sheer drops, and even a backflip, the X2 delivers an unforgettable ride. Redesigned in 2007, it introduced new trains with a pneumatic restraint system, a fresh color scheme, and innovative visual, audio, and sensory effects. The ride also adopted a new loading and unloading method, along with a train, to increase capacity by 50%. Add a couple of flamethrowers, and the X2 solidified its place in roller coaster history. Number 7. Virtual Reality Water Slide. Virtual reality roller coasters that thrill fans are not a novel idea. However, integrating VR technology into water slides has posed a unique challenge due to the sensitivity of electronic components to water. However, this challenge has recently been overcome with the introduction of the Space Glider, the world's first VR water slide. This groundbreaking attraction features specially designed waterproof headsets that can be submerged without damaging the delicate mobile devices running the custom software for the VR experience. Additionally, these headsets charge wirelessly, allowing park operators to easily swap out sets throughout the day, ensuring a seamless experience for riders. Located at Europe's largest water park, Galaxy Erding, in southern Germany, the Space Glider elevates the thrill of water slides by offering adventure seekers a choice of enchanting virtual worlds. Riders can glide through magical alien landscapes, follow beautiful butterflies around floating islands, or immerse themselves in a serene winter wonderland. The possibilities for adventure are endless. To enhance the excitement, the 520-foot-long ride includes 2 uphill tracks. This design creates a roller coaster-like experience that combines the thrill of virtual reality and water slides. The company behind this innovative VR slide views it as a pivotal step toward a larger aquatic VR experience, envisioning setups with multiple water tanks where users could swim freely while fully immersed in virtual reality. This could redefine the future of thrill-seeking in water parks, blending the exhilaration of water slides with the limitless potential of virtual experiences. Number 6. Insanity Stratosphere. Just a precaution. Due to the side part that was moving, one can experience dizziness or vomiting. Thus, if you are sensitive to such conditions, be aware it is advised that one should not ride on an empty tummy or a full stomach. Finally, for those daring enough to try it, welcome to Insanity, a ride that pushes the boundary of fear and gives an adrenaline rush like no other. A ride that thrusts 1,870 feet in the air is a tremendously unsafe centrifuge, and it is sited atop the tallest building in Las Vegas. And that's not all. Once you're standing on what appears to be a giant roller coaster car high above the glittering strip, the ride drops you to a stomach-churning 70-degree angle to the ground below. If that is not enough to make the spine tingle, you are spun around at up to 43.5 miles per hour. This ride is for those who can afford to be fun-hungry, those who do not fear heights, and a lot of spinning. Insanity is programmable when it comes to riding, which implies that every time one is subjected to insanity, they are likely to get an entirely new, thrilling experience. Located at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Skypod, Insanity takes its passengers to the outer edge of the tower, where it spins passengers at speeds that generate up to 3G forces as they enjoy the scenery of the Las Vegas Strip. It's a roller coaster ride that is both physical and mental at the same time, and all one can do is stare and pray that at least the seatbelt is tight. Don't worry, it will be. To ensure client safety, the use of Insanity helps conquer fear. At the same time, many seek these thrilling adventures from such towering structures, so if you're ready for an adventure like no other, strap in and prepare for an exhilarating ride. Number 5. Formula Rossa, Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi. Like everything else in Abu Dhabi, their roller coasters are small, and I think they need to learn how to make them small. Take a tour and jump into the Formula Rossa at Ferrari World. This theme park is home to the world's fastest roller coaster and the fastest one in the universe. Applying the overall theme of the Ferrari racetrack, the theatre-in-shape train for the coaster looks like an actual Ferrari racetrack car, which is appropriate to the actuality of the ride's speed. Formula Rossa attains breathtaking statures of nearly 150 miles per hour. Due to this, it outperforms the closely related Kingda car in New Jersey with a relatively slow 128 miles per hour. With the help of an out-of-this-world hydraulic launch system, Rossa can complete this feat and reach this mind-boggling speed in under 5 seconds. It is fast-moving and requires the riders to protect their eyes from flying debris through goggles. First, while most classic coasters stem gradually up a lift hill horizontally, Formula Rossa lurches forward like an F1 car and proceeds immediately up to maximum velocity. The fun does not stop as you drive through the track, and you have to outturn your foes and survive sharp bends that will challenge both your hands and your nerves. The lack of loops and corkscrews is not an issue here. Formula Rossa features a tremendous top speed, which ensures that the place daredevils stay excited and happy throughout the roller coaster ride. If you're in Abu Dhabi and looking for an unforgettable rush, Formula Rossa is an experience you won't miss. Number 4. Slide Wheel. Many kids with active imaginations have dreamed up some insane amusement park rides, but few ever make it to reality. However, that's not the case with the Slide Wheel, an incredible water slide conceptualized by an 8-year-old child. This innovation has become the world's first rotating water slide featuring a unique star-like design. Standing almost 80 feet tall and weighing 160 tons, the Slide Wheel boasts impressive specs. It has 9-foot diameter fiberglass elements, 4 friction drives, and 3 conveyor belts for handling rafts and launching riders. The wheel rotates twice each minute, creating a thrilling ride experience. The slide stretches for 460 feet, but thanks to the back and forth motion, the effective ride length can feel up to 985 feet. The Slide Wheel offers a one-of-a-kind experience. It can accommodate one raft every 30 seconds, with each ride lasting about 90 seconds inside the slide, followed by an additional 20 seconds of leisurely floating along a big river ride in the landing pool. For a bonus, the slide wheel is fitted with LED lights, putting on a spectacular light show at night that enhances the excitement of this already thrilling attraction. It's a perfect example of how creativity and engineering can come together to create something truly extraordinary. Number 3. Spin Dizzy. Who knew a theme park like this existed? Diggerland is an exciting theme park concept inspired by the fascinating world of landscaping and earth moving. 4 locations in England and the 5th in the United States offer unique attractions that let visitors engage with heavy machinery. The most popular ride at Diggerland is the Spin Dizzy. Are you brave enough to give it a go? While operating mini diggers brings joy to many visitors, the real thrill comes from this massive attraction. Spin Dizzy is constructed using a 21-ton excavator, making it a formidable ride. Imagine being strapped into an oversized digger bucket and hoisted high into the air, only to be tossed around in a wild, exhilarating fashion. You might think Diggerland treats its visitors like dirt. Well, with Spin Dizzy, you'd be right. This giant digger, typically used for digging holes, lifting materials, and demolition work, has been repurposed for thrilling rides powered by 123 kilowatts of energy. This power is essential for delivering maximum thrills, but Spin Dizzy is not for the faint-hearted. A word of caution, it's highly recommended not to eat immediately before riding. Things could get messy. Forget the conventional roller coasters. Spin Dizzy provides an adrenaline-pumping experience. Can you dig it? Number 2. Leap of Faith. This thrilling ride is known as the Leap of Faith and is definitely for the daring visitors of the water park in Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas. Designed to resemble a Mayan temple among the clouds, the slide offers a clear view of the sea from its elevated position at the top. Just be careful not to get lost in the beauty of the waterfalls and valleys, as they can swallow you whole. Another successful ride is the Leap of Faith, which momentarily drops 60 feet and launches riders down at 35 miles per hour. The real fun starts when you fire through the underwater tunnel, passing over a pool inhabited by sharks. Big loggerhead nurse sharks measuring up to 13 feet in length and Caribbean reef sharks. How about you? Would you dare to take the leap? As much as many people are willing to participate in this activity, they usually develop nervousness while waiting for their turn. Who wouldn't want to be dropped at almost a vertical position with sharks splashing in the water as they glide past them in a ride? While the water park of Atlantis can be classified as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the Leap of Faith continues to be one of the most breathtaking structures. It provides stunning views of the Atlantis Resort. Number 1. The Smiler, Alton Towers in the UK. The Smiler roller coaster, located at Alton Towers in the United Kingdom, has carved out its insane reputation through speed and its unique design, featuring a staggering 14 inversions, the most of any coaster in the world. Opened in 2013, the Smiler quickly captured attention for its thrilling experience, which begins with a twist. Riders are upside down before they even start to ascend the initial hill. After the first inversion, the train comes to a halt and is sent up a series of brake tracks for a second, even more intense ascent. What follows is a 90-degree drop, leading to a series of increasingly wild loops that keep your adrenaline pumping. Near the end of the ride, you'll find yourself barrel rolling multiple times in rapid succession, leaving little room for anything other than screams of exhilaration. The Smiler also incorporates several unique elements it calls mind manipulations, which create the illusion of being sprayed with laughing gas and other whimsical chemicals designed to enhance the experience. However, the ride's true magic comes from the thrill of its inversions and the gut-wrenching sensation of twisting and turning through the air. No amount of simulated gas can compete with the genuine smiles from this wild ride, as your stomach keeps tickling from the countless flips and loops in just a few short minutes. From breathtaking heights to dizzying speeds and unexpected twists, each coaster offers a unique adventure that can leave even the most seasoned thrill seeker breathless. Whether you're a daredevil looking for your next adrenaline rush or just an admirer of the engineering marvels behind these rides, there's no denying the exhilarating magic they bring to theme parks around the globe.